MSNBC has now canceled and fired Joy Reid. Interesting, right? They were so excited and congratulated her on her NAACP awards. But now she's fired? This just goes to show how this regime has blackmailed and threatened our mainstream media here in the U.S. Grow a spine, grow some balls, or perhaps do your job. Because right now, we're in a crisis in this country, but we know who you're loyal to. You're loyal to a king, right? You don't want to report on that now, do you? Joy Reid was fired for speaking the truth and sharing her opinions. And now our First Amendment rights are being jeopardized because mainstream media doesn't want to ruffle the feathers of King Trump.
My show had value, and that, I'm sorry, that what I was doing had value. And
boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about Joy Reid breaking down in tears, upset, boo-hoo, and crying over the fact that she got fired from MSNBC. Yes, Joy Reid has been canned by MSNBC as I predicted. Okay, I told you guys after the election. I said, listen, Joy Reid is not going to survive at MSNBC. She's not worth the $1 to $2, $3 million they're paying her per year, right? She's not worth a ham sandwich. Okay, why are you keeping her at the network? Okay, her overt anti-white racism is not good for the network. Okay, that is not mass marketable. Okay, you will never, ever, ever build a successful show being anti-white, and the reason why is just simple math. The country, at least 60% of the country is white. Okay, a vast majority of the country is white. You can't be anti-white and be successful, right? It's just not possible. Okay, so MSNBC learned that the hard way. Now you have Joy Reid breaking down in tears over the news that she got fired, right? So without further ado, we're gonna laugh at Joy Reid boo-hoo, whining, and crying over being fired from MSNBC. Let's go ahead and get into this.
Hello. I have to say my heart is so full that I hope I can get through this. I want to thank you, Joteka, and I will say our SOAR president literally called me from as she was taxiing on the plane to say that she was flying back from California, and it was just overwhelming to receive that call. Khalil, all of those who have been on the phones with me, and Angie Rye, who has been essentially babysitting me and taking care of me, and Tiffany Cross has been doing the same. My husband is on this call, who's also been doing the same. Mignon Moore, who, my counselor, who's been so great, so kind to just always give me advice. Obviously, Joteka, you are just everything. Holly, who I've been bugging and harassing, who's been making all the technical, I can't even name everyone. Everyone, you all know that you are valuable, you are wonderful, and, I hope I haven't missed anyone. It's just my heart is so full, I'm trying to get through it. But everyone who took the time on a Sunday when it was not a regular call to get on this call, I can't even begin. As you can imagine, I have been through every emotion over the past several days. Tasha knows, she's been on the calls with me for some of them. Angela surely knows. Carrie Champion's been on with me. Alicia Guards. I've just been talking to we call ourselves our machetes. I've been talking to so many people, but I've been through every emotion from, anger, rage, disappointment, hurt, feeling that, guilt, that I let my team lose their jobs. But in the end, where I really land and where I've landed on today is just gratitude, just pure gratitude. And gratitude, not just because people would take the time to get on a call like this, or to take care of me, but also that my show had value, and that, I'm sorry, that that what I was doing had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. And I think this is kind of like me on TV, so I apologize. And that it kind of, and then it mattered. I see Karen is there, and she's been texting me as well. And so what I will just say is that in the end, thank you, where I land is that the moment of guilt that I felt, that I went hard on so many issues, whether it was the Black Lives Matter issues of a young baby or a mom or dad that was killed, or when we opened up people's eyes to the fact that Asian Americans were being targeted and not just Black folks, or went hard for immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country like my parents did and try to make a life and defended them. Or whether we've talked about what the president is doing that is subversive to the Constitution, that is injurious to our liberty, defending books that people find inconvenient, that Nicole Hannah-Jones put into our spirit, that we need to understand 1619 as the real founding of this country, whether it's talking about any of these issues, and yes, whether it's talking about Gaza, and the fact that we as the American people have a right to object, to little babies being bombed. And where I come down on that is I'm not sorry. I am not sorry that I stood up for those things, because those things are of God.
Oh my goodness. Oh man. Oh my God. Wow, 2025. Amazing year already. This is already the best year ever, right? No year can top the year where Joy Reid gets fired during Black History Month. And then you have her boohoo whining and crying on a podcast about it, right? She's in tears, crying over the fact that she got fired. Bro, you can't make this up. You cannot make this up, okay? I love it. I absolutely love it, right? Joy Reid deserves everything that she's going through right now, okay? I mean, the woman is a racist. I mean, let's be real. And the race hustlers are already boohoo whining crying racism, right, over Joy Reid being fired. Benjamin Crump says, Joy Reid's exit from the readout is yet another Black woman losing her solo anchor spot at MSNBC. No one can deny her impact. She's amplified Black voices, told hard truths, and shaped political discourse. Wishing her success in what's next. Thank you, Joy. Well, there's nothing next for Joy Reid, right? There's nothing next. That's why she was boohoo whining crying. Well, the reason why is because she's going to end up like Don Lemon. Irrelevant, right? Irrelevant. Like, here's the thing about these anchors, bro. And it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. They had millions and millions and millions of dollars behind them, right? MSNBC, CNN, pushing them. And they still weren't able to organically build an audience, right? Of people who actually really like them, right? It's pretty bad. Like, it's actually really, really, really bad. And Joy Reid is going to find it out the hard way that nobody gives a damn about what she says if she doesn't have a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate backing her, okay? So with that being said, it's not just Joy Reid that is upset, but apparently her staffers are also upset because they've been told by MSNBC that they're being laid off. So headline here. New MSNBC head holds hasty meeting with Joy Reid staffers after show's cancellation leaks. Insists Trump wasn't a factor. Rebecca Cutler, the MSNBC president who just took the wheel earlier this month, called a hasty virtual meeting with staffers on Joy Reid's show, The Readout, after news of the program's cancellation leaked to the media, and an audio recording of that meeting was then leaked. Oliver Darcy published a report on Cutler's tense and emotional digital confab with angered Readout staffers in his status newsletter, describing how Cutler had abruptly summoned the staffers on Sunday morning shortly after the news leaked. First reported by Variety and the New York Times that the 7 p.m. Eastern Time weeknight show would be airing its final episode sometime this week. According to Darcy, the meeting lasted almost 30 minutes. Quote, staffers expressed frustration and disbelief outraged that they had learned of the show's fate from reports in the press rather than leadership. He wrote and challenged network leadership to explain why the show was canceled and what that meant for their jobs. Well, this is very simple. The show was canceled because nobody watched it, right? The ratings were terrible, okay? And Joy Reid, ultimately, at the end of the day, because she doesn't have any real talent outside of race hustling, she is not somebody that should be retained, okay? She is not deserving or worth her, I don't know, $1, $2, $3 million salary, okay? In which she recently took a pay cut. She just took a pay cut. Now, in my opinion, again, she's not worth a ham sandwich. So I don't know why she's getting paid millions of dollars. She's overpaid. They could quite literally find anybody to host that time slot and probably get a better return on investment than Joy Reid, okay? So that's why she's out. She's out because nobody watched her show. It's really simple. The bad news came swiftly, with Cutler confirming that, quote, the entire staff had been laid off, wrote Darcy, adding that the staffers were told they would receive severance through April and were encouraged to apply to other positions within MSNBC, but this did little to soothe their nerves. Despite MSNBC's assurances that new roles will be available, staffers exited the meeting shaken. The shock of learning about their show's fate, married with uncertainty about what comes next, spurred significant frustration with MSNBC brass, which came through during the Sunday meeting. While Cutler pointed to more than 100 new jobs being posted this week as a sign of hope for the staffers, for those who have worked on the readout, the meeting drove home a difficult reality. Their show is over and their future at the Progressive Network is not certain. Regarding the leaked news, Cutler said that she was incredibly disappointed that this happened in this way, but staffers are still outraged, with one person telling the network president that it is, quote, terrible way to learn about our fate. Yeah, so they're upset that MSNBC told the press, that this leaked to the press before MSNBC had a chance to tell the actual staff that, hey, you're fired, right? That we don't need you anymore, okay? Your services are no longer needed. Cutler insisted that Donald Trump was not a factor. Darcy reported, an idea that had sparked much speculation, considering Reid's critiques of the president and the chatter around Jim Acosta's departure from CNN last month. One staffer asked Cutler point blank if Trump had influenced the decision to cancel the readout, and Cutler replied, no, it did not. Yeah, so what you have here, staffers are angry. Okay, they are revolting because they got fired. Joy Reid is in tears, and 2025 is off to a great start. Okay, President Trump has chimed in on this. He says, quote, low-life chairman of Comcast, Brian Roberts, the owner of Ratings Challenge NBC and MSNBC, has finally gotten the nerve up to fire one of the least talented people in television, the mentally obnoxious racist Joy Reid. Based on her ratings, which were virtually non-existent, she should have been canned long ago, along with everyone else who works there. Amen. Amen. He's 100% right. Everybody at MSNBC should be fired. Let's be honest. Also thrown out was Alex Wagner's sub on the seriously failing Rachel Maddow. Rachel rarely shows up because she knows there's nobody watching. And she also knows that she got less television persona than virtually anyone on television, except perhaps Joy Reid. Yo, this is hilarious. Then there's, of course, low IQ man Al Sharpton, who has perhaps the lowest TV ratings. Yo, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. Yo, this true post. This true post is so funny. The low IQ comment, Al Sharpton, who has perhaps the lowest TV ratings in the history of television. What is he doing to Brian Roberts? Just stay on there. Oh, man. Trump a fool, bro. Trump is a fool. This whole corrupt operation is nothing more than a legal arm of the Democrat Party. They should be forced to pay vast sums of money for the damage they've done to our country. Fake news is an unpardonable sin. Yeah, so again, hilarious, absolutely hilarious post here from President Trump. He's chiming in on this. Joy Reid is a laughing stock And ultimately, at the end of the day, I mean, nobody watched her show. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. Okay, if nobody's watching your show, then you're going to get fired. Right? It's just hilarious that Joy Reid had just won an NAACP Image Award, which shows you everything that those awards are about, right? It's about DI, right? It's a DI award. It's a participation trophy. I mean, these are the same people who honored Kamala Harris. What has Kamala Harris done besides lose, right? That deserves being honored? Nothing. Nothing. She's done absolutely nothing but lose, and the NAACP is honoring her. For what? For what? What has she done? Absolutely nothing at all. Same thing with Joy Reid. How do you lose 50% of your audience and yet you win an award? DI, right? DI. Okay, that's exactly what it is. It's a participation trophy. So, you know, people like her, ultimately, money talks. Money talks. And when your viewership is in the tank, you're not making as much money, and ultimately you got to be let go, right? You have to be axed at the end of the day. Now, MSNBC, unfortunately for them, they haven't really learned their lesson, right? They replaced one lunatic with 3 lunatics, and I'm not sure if that's going to work out, right? I don't think their ratings are going to get better because of Simone Sanders and Michael Steele. You know, they're also planning on using Jen Psaki more, right? They're giving her a promotion. Yeah, I don't think it's going to get better, right? I do not think that that's going to make MSNBC better. I really don't. But hey, you know, we'll see. As of right now, Joy Reid, again, you know, she's in the unemployment line. She's going the same route as Don Lemon. And I predict that she will have the same fate as Don Lemon, which is to be forever irrelevant. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.